It's teaser.
Hi, this is Colette Alethea, and this is the Roaring 30s. Thank you so much for joining me today, and as always, I appreciate it every single time. So remember to hit subscribe, the like button, and comment and share, all right? And yes, please comment. I would love to hear back from you. So today I have a special guest here with me, my very good friend, Luvlee Esther. She'll be speaking about how she kept her relationship pandemic proof. A lot of relationships have been hitting the rocks lately, divorces and separations. So what did she do differently to keep her marriage intact, together, and overall loving, healthy, and safe from the pandemic blues? So here is Luvlee Esther giving us the scoop. All right, so my friend Luvlee Esther is here joining me. I'm so happy to have her. She's my girl, and anyone, not anyone, but most of the people that I bring onto my show or to my YouTube, they're my peoples, and she's one of my peoples. Like she's one of my children's godmother peoples. Okay. So I'm so grateful for our friendship, and she has been instrumental in really helping me like get through like the relationship kinks I guess I've been having, especially with COVID. So I thought she'd be the perfect person to bring on to the my YouTube channel. Esther, my friend.
Hello, Colette. Thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
Of course. And let me just do a shameless plug right now. My friend Luvlee Esther has a YouTube channel. Do you want to share that with us before we get started?
So yes, it's called Semksa Dynasty. So SEMKSA Dynasty. Started off as like a family YouTube channel, but you'll see, follow. We're kind of diverting from that a little bit. So just follow and you'll see what's up.
Yeah, man, there's nothing wrong with rebranding. So we're going to get right into it. We want to know, like, with all that's happening with COVID, what did you find was the hardest thing to deal with in your relationship?
It would be managing both work life, marriage life, children life, everything, because now everything's closed. You can't really go out and do much of anything, right? So that was really tough. It took some time to adjust, and I'm still adjusting. It's not anything that's perfect, but it's much better. I would say that was the most difficult time. Time management with the family was very difficult.
And I think that's for most families. Most families, like, because our family life has changed so much. Like, it's not conventional. It's not like mom always stays home and dad goes to work. Like, both mom and dad are now working, and how do you balance that with children, right?
It's crazy, but the good thing or lucky thing for me is I work from home. So that's the good part. So my husband goes away for work, goes out for work, and I'm home. I'm able to get the kids off to school because I still send them to school and come home and work. So it's still quite feel like, well, you work from home should be easy. It's really not, because when the school's closed for 2 weeks, they're home. How are you managing that, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
It's still very difficult.
Absolutely. And speaking of your husband, tell us a little bit more about how you both met.
Well, Solomon. Okay, so I met Solomon. I knew of Solomon because our parents went to the same church. But I don't remember ever speaking with Solomon until I was in grade 9, maybe in 2000. I don't remember when, but that's when I actually met. When I was in grade 9, he was in grade 11 or 10. And there was this good friend of ours, both of ours, mutual friend, Peggy. And I saw Solomon, I was like, I think he's all right. I told Peggy, I think he's all right. And it was in high school, down to secondary school. So Peggy told Solomon, and of course, Solomon was feeling me. So Solomon,
of course.
So he approached me. I would put like little cute notes in his locker, you know, when your first boyfriend thing. So, and then we started dating, in grade 9, and we broke up. It's a long story, but in high school, grade 9 is when I met Solomon, and then we dated, broke up, and got back together in 2012. And everything just flowed from there. And here we are, 2021.
Yeah, and I think, like, I know we can't go over everything, but I think your story is really an important story. And I actually can't wait for you to share it more on your YouTube channel.
Okay, I thought you wanted me to elaborate a little
No,
bit
no, no,
more.
no, no.
But we'll
We're gonna leave some, leave some curiosity. But your story, you and Solomon's story, like coming from 2012 and to where you are today, is really, really inspirational. Very much so. So entering into a relationship with Solomon, what did you want to make sure you had that you didn't have in your previous relationship?
I would say respect. Like to respect. I wanted to be with someone moving forward. I think I was about 25 or 26, I think. Maybe somewhere around there. I wanted to be with someone who respected me as a woman, who respected me as a mother. Because when I met Solomon, you'll find out in our YouTube channel, but I had 2 children before I got with Solomon. I wanted someone who loved my children and someone I can trust. To me, trust was huge, because in my previous relationships, there was lack of trust and lack of respect. So I was looking for someone who I can trust, who I can go to bed and not worry what are they doing. Someone I can go grocery shopping and not worry about how my kids doing at home, right? Someone who I can tell them, babe, this is my dream. This is something I want to pursue. And they'll actually analyze the whole situation and give me honest feedback. And that's what I really wanted. And with Solomon, everything it was just a quick bam, bam, bam with him, because it just started to flow. Everything I felt I was lacking from before, by God's grace, it started to fall in place with Solomon. So that would be it. Trust, respect, would be the two.
And love for your children, which is so important. And I think that some of us who are moving in our 30s, because when you're in your 30s, you either been married already or have been in a committed relationship, or something has happened dramatically. So everybody has a story by the time you hit 30 or 30 something, And I think when we're choosing life partners, one of them is like, do they love my children? If you have children, do they love my children for real, for real? Because say if the father is not, the father won't be living with them, but they live at another location, this man is going to be in your child's life. Like, what kind of influence would you want on your children when their father is absent in that time, So that for me also was a big, like, a Jamaican lady told me when I was working with her, she said, that's how I met Nana at work, right? And she said to me, don't just date for you, date for your son. Yeah. So you might be attracted to a guy, but if you know he's not good, you see these certain traits, it's not good, why would you want him around your son?
Yeah, because it's an influence, right?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, I totally agree with that one for sure. So did you and Solomon ever stop dating while married? If so, when did you realize, and how soon did you address it?
Okay. Yes, we did. It was a point, and I love that term. I love the way you phrase that. Did we ever stop dating while married? We did. It was when I believe we had our last child. Last, capital letters, bold, underlined.
LAST.
Everything. Last child. It was really hard because I had just finished school. I was studying to write my exam. I have 4 young children. I have a husband. I'm trying to adapt to this role of being a mother, a wife, and now to pursue my career. It was really, really difficult. So I found myself, I shifted and put more focus on being a mother and my career. And I felt my relationship was lacking. And thank God for friends like Colette and Nana and Quadjo, and I can't even name everybody, but the group of friends that you surround yourself with goes a really, really long way because I was at the point where I said, this is a lot. Like, how do you manage? I find myself bickering about things that don't really matter.
Yep.
And you just need someone to kind of get you back to focus, right? And that's what happened. So after Vera, it's like my marriage is slacking. We're not doing much, and it goes both ways. That's what I have to say. So at that point, I communicated it to Solomon. I said, I feel like we're not the same. I feel like we're losing like love for one another. And when we talked about it, it was, no, we're not losing love. It's just we're not spending time together. Because by the time the kids are in bed, I'm tired. Like, I want to go to bed. I don't have time to spend with a. To me, it's like to spend with a grown man. Take care of yourself, right? But you're not spending time with a grown man. You're spending time with your life partner, your best friend, your soulmate, right? So it was really difficult. It took me some time. I can't remember how long it took, but it did take quite some time for me to realize my marriage is not the way in my head, I had it a certain way, but in reality, it wasn't how I wanted it to be. And we talked about it. I told him what my concerns were, which is key, I think, communication. You have to say it. Women love to think the man should just figure it out. Know what I'm talking about? Well, you should know. Well, no, they don't know, right? So
that is the truth bomb, sis.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us assume the men know, and they don't know.
They don't. And that's why they say women were so complicated. We're not, because I'm thinking, if I feel this way, you should know. You've been with me for so many years. You should look at this face. You know I'm not. Why do I have to tell you I'm not, right? But when we talked about it, we said, what are we gonna do? So we started to make plans, like, we're gonna go for a walk, right? Little simple things like that. We'll go for a walk by ourselves, or even if we're walking with the kids, they're gonna walk ahead. We're going to be behind by ourselves, like leave some distance so we can talk. But mostly we'll go on our own, watch TV shows together, like just picking I think the most important part is being able to reflect or being aware, self-awareness, knowing that something's not going well. What am I doing wrong? Right? And actually talking about it, right?
Self-awareness. Yo, that is a bomb point. Yeah. Self-awareness to know that, whoa, something's happening. Either I'm not giving enough, or he's not giving enough, or we're not giving enough. Yeah. But something is deficient. Wow.
Yeah. So we did. We eventually talked about it. We said, something needs to give, right? We know we love each other's company. Well, I'm the fun one, so he loves my company. So
then it's not lie. My friend, she is the fun one. For real. Don't let all of this sophistication fool you. This is my friend. Yeah, constantly dancing with a drink.
Yes, my dancing.
Because you work hard.
Yes, and you have to enjoy. You really have to make the best of things. And it was nice. Once we talked about it, we decided this is what we're going to try, different little things. Like, it doesn't have to be a major move. It doesn't have to be something big. Oh, let's go on a quick vacation. No, that's not how it works. But although that's what we did, we started with a little walks and stuff. Then we said, you know what? Every year, we're going to take a family vacation, and we're also going to take a couple vacation. And by vacation, I don't mean you have to get on a plane and fly 10 hours or 5 hours or go to the Caribbean or anything. Your vacation can be just going to a hotel, even in the same city, right? And just having that time to yourself. So that's what we decided. And we do it, we fall back, and we're back on it. But now we have to do it, especially during COVID. You have to set your mind straight that this is what I'm going to do, and you have to do it. That's just, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
For sure. And this is the reason why I asked you to come on, because back in February, back on Valentine's Day weekend, Esther, like, you put on a show. All of your Snap stories were bomb. Every single one of them, like everything that you planned in a time of quarantine for you and your husband was so special. I mean, like, some people are like, okay, restaurants are not open, this is not open, that's not open. But like the detailing of what you did for that weekend, which I'm going to ask you to share, was so impeccable and so encouraging that I did something similar. I was like, look, we going. We even if it's one day, we just gonna go. So please share with us what you did in February with Solomon.
Well, okay, so it was Valentine's
and how
Day.
You did it.
It's Valentine's Day weekend. And I figured, you know what, this Valentine's Day, I told him right off, and in all honesty, I said, Valentine's Day, I don't want a gift. I don't want anything. I want to treat you this Valentine's Day. Because Valentine's Day is all about ladies, buying them chocolate, doing this. I figured, let me do, during this quarantine, we've done a lot. We moved, did some rental to our house and stuff. So he worked really hard. I know everyone works hard, but ladies, one thing we have to, at least for me, I've realized it is that men love to be acknowledged when they do something, just like how women do. If your man does something right, praise him, congratulate him, let him know that you value his presence, the hard work that he did. And it took me some time because in my head, I'm Miss Independent. I can do it all on my own. I don't need you. So if you do it, I'm looking at you like, okay, big deal. What do you want me to do? Right. So as soon as I realized that, I said, Valentine's Day, I'm going to treat you. We're going to go away. So he knew the weekend we're going. He knew we're going from, I think we went Saturday to Monday, and it was for Valentine's Day. He knew we were going to Niagara Falls, but that's all he knew. I didn't let him pack his clothes, not even a pair of socks. So I packed everything. I did all the packing. I arranged, booked the hotel. It was a lot of stuff that we packed because I knew what I had planned. So for 2 nights, we had a big suitcase, a duffel bag, and a little carry bag. So he nagged the whole time carrying everything because I was feeling cute just holding my purse. So, and so we got to Niagara Falls. I got a nice suite at the Hilton. It was a 2-bedroom suite with a falls view. And I brought all my plates, my dinnerware, my setup, all in our suitcase, which he had no idea. His gifts, and I set up the room. I ordered dinner. It was Uber Eats. And the funny thing is he went and picked it up. He went downstairs, he got the dinner, and he brought it up, but then he wasn't allowed to come up. He stayed in one bedroom while I was in the other room, which had the falls view. And I set up the dinner. I had dessert. Well, I'm the main dessert, but I had actual dessert for it.
Yep, of course.
And he came, I had balloons, and I'm really picky with numbers. So I blew 6 balloons because there's 6 people in our family. It was red and white. So I kind of picked his attire all white with the red shoes. So just to make it romantic, we had our dinner. After dinner, I kind of turned on some music. We dimmed the lights and we had a party, just the 2 of us. And it was a great weekend.
I know she's saying it, but you have to see it. I mean, both of them were wearing all white. Both of them were wearing red shoes, or they're matching. Everything that she did was so thought out and detailed. And I think the words don't give it justice. You have to see it for yourself. It's amazing. And I think taking the time, one thing is that we spend money on things that we don't need to spend money on, and then say how come you don't take me out on dates? And how come these things don't happen? And I think maybe we should have, I told Nana actually, we should have a separate account or a separate savings for us. So when we're tired and we want to step away, we're not can we this month? It should be we have this in the account. Let's go on Groupon and let's book a hotel somewhere, or let's go on Airbnb and book a house or a condo somewhere. You know what I mean? So that's one thing that we changed for sure, was we're not doing this, not making room and space. So I believe it's all about being intentional.
Yeah.
For sure. And one big thing you hit on is that women can serve in that capacity as well. And it's true. I think because we wear many hats, we don't believe the men are wearing many hats too. But they're carrying things that, for example, I can be irrational sometimes. I can be I'm busy, so I don't know what you want me to do, right? But who is taking care of Kwame when when I'm not well, right? And who is being emotionally mature when I'm not?
Although I'm sure you're most of the time you're most emotionally mature. I believe it.
Yeah, I
It's not.
try, but I'm grateful for those moments though,
Yeah.
when like he is doing his due diligence to also
Mhm.
keep the home in harmony for
Yeah.
me, you know, because I get frustrated too with like everyday life, everything's always happening. So we forget that these men are actually playing other roles other than working,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So telling them thank you and showing them thank you is very important and imperative. And the light bulbs go off and conversations happen.
Mhm. Yeah. Like
Like
little
things
things.
start coming out of them.
Yeah. Do little things. Like I'll write notes sometimes just to say he'll do something like change a light, the light fixture. And I'll just write something and say, thank you for changing the light yesterday. He's not expecting it. He goes to lunch work, he opens his lunch and there's this note, right? Like just little things that I think really helps. Like it really makes them feel, they feel good too. They feel every man wants to feel like a man. Every man wants to feel important and loved. And I love the point that you made about making sure you put funds aside uh, for the couple time like that you guys are going to spend. One thing that Solomon and I started was, because if you don't know me, I'm really short tempered. So once I get mad, it's don't talk to me. Let me cool down, then I'll come talk to you.
Yes.
Regardless of who you are, that's me, right? I'm
Yeah.
really for 2021. I didn't say, oh, I want to stop getting mad. No, I just want to be a better me overall, right? So what Solomon and I, we started this a couple years ago, was you can't go to bed angry, right? No matter what the situation is, you cannot. And if you do, you owe money in our couple box. So we have this wooden box in our room. It started off 50, but I was losing too much money. So I had to kind of decrease it. And although it was my idea, I was the one going to bed all the time. So I would still say good night. Ladies, we do one of those, like,
Yep.
as if you right. So that would be another thing I would say people can try as well. Like don't go to bed upset. No matter what, just say good night. If you don't say it, then you owe money in our outed box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should probably do that. We don't actually like get to like arguments a lot, but when we do have a disagreement, it's days. Like Nana and I won't talk to each other for days.
And imagine.
And then we'll go months without like any disagreements.
Yeah.
And then if it happens again, it will happen like 5-6 days. I'll make the dinner, I'll give him the dinner, but like I'm not saying anything. Yeah.
But then imagine if you guys had that box. Every day that goes by, whoever's not talking, remember, if it's the both of you, you're both putting money in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be talking pretty like, sooner than later for sure.
Trust me.
Because bills are coming up, so you got to stop this. Somebody's got to stop this. Yeah. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, money talks.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So when you come back from like your walks or your getaways on a weekend or whatever you decide to do together, what is the chemistry like after in your home?
Yeah, so it's you come back, I was real fun. You just feel good. Overall, you feel really good. I know Colette had a good time because I was posting her all over the place when they had their couple weekend.
It was great.
You look forward, right? You look forward to the next time you're going. You're searching, you're ready to go again. Yeah. I want to change it to 2 times a month now because that once a month is not doing it for me.
No, I hear you. And it's fun. It is fun. And yeah, you know what? I always tell Nana, like, I want to feel like that girl that you were dating before all the responsibilities. That excitement, like, I'm going to go do my hair. I'm going to like get a new cute outfit. Like, you want to look good. You want to feel good. And for one night, you don't want to worry about the fact that you have to wake up the next morning and take care of kids. Like, that's just the truth, right? And so, because sometimes men feel like, oh, I'm at home with you. Isn't that like spending time? It's like, no, it really isn't.
No.
So
we have to make it happen. The ladies, even if it means you have to plan it. Plan the first couple times. But then then you just tell them. I already told Solomon, Mother's Day, I'm not planning anything. You're planning it. You see what I've done so far. It's all on you now. So just start, get the man used to it. And not all men can plan it. If they can and you have to plan it, plan it. Think about the benefits more than why am I always planning it, right? Instead of just thinking of it, think of, okay, what am I gaining? What are we, not just I, but what are we gaining from this quality time that we're spending together, right?
And it's big facts, because sometimes I do feel that way. Sometimes I feel like, okay, like I've cooked, I've cleaned, I've been taking care of the kids. Like, what else do you want me to do? I want to go on a date. I want to go on a date. As I keep saying, I want to go on a date. And I don't take the personal responsibility because I don't want to, but I realize that like some men are just not good at that.
Yeah.
But when you get them like out and going, conversations flowing, and then all of a sudden they want to give you things, they want to gift you things, they want to talk to you like the girl they just met, like things, it just becomes nice. So sometimes you have to bring the camel to the water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To get what you want.
Well said.
So what advice would you give other couples who seem to feel stuck, especially during the pandemic?
You're as stuck as you make yourself, right? It's really that simple. It might seem, I know people are like, yeah, it's easier said than done, but really, if you want something done, it's not just going to happen for you, right? It's not, if you want to go out for dinner, you're not just going to sit there and dinner's going to show up at your doorstep. You need to make that effort. We need to, as women, this is solely to my women, my ladies, we have to pull our weight in trying to make sure that our relationships are flourishing, right? Because if we leave it just for the man, we all know, not all men, and I'm not putting any blame on the men, but a man is not going to be just sitting there thinking about, what can I do to surprise her today? Unless if he's in trouble, then he's thinking of ways to, gifts you, like it's surprising ways and stuff. But for the ladies, we really need to look at not just doing things for our own benefit, but to do things to show the man that we're with or our partner that, I appreciate you. I love you. I enjoy my time with you. I look forward to the next time I'll have quality time with you. So my advice would be make it work. You committed yourself to this relationship that you're in. Nobody forced you to, and you have to make it work. If this is really the person that you want to be with, my advice is you have to make it work. I'm more than willing to help with planning. If my ladies, you feel, I don't know what to do. There's so many places. Our last time we went to Hamilton. You don't have to go somewhere fancy to spend time with your loved one. If you love them, you care for them, make that time. Do those little walks. Childcare might be an issue for some. If there's children in the picture, my advice is fine, go with the children. Wait till they go to sleep. Solomon and I we do this, they would watch a TV show. It's on like YouTube show, whatever they call it, Fatal Attraction. And we watch that every weekend, like on the night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, we'll watch it together. That's little things that you're spending time with your partner that maybe before you were doing. If you want to go, you can do a walk. If there's no childcare issues, do a weekend, plan in advance, but put in that work. Put in that work, because your mother-in-law is not going to come do it for you. Your father is not going to do it for you. Nobody's going to come to your house and fix your relationship for you. They can come and advise you. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm surrounded by a great group of friends, I don't call friends, I call them family, that really look out for my marriage and my children. So what do you plan it in advance? If I know for sure, if I was to call any of my family right now and say, Colette, we have this plan, I really need help, I'm stuck. Can you please help me with one child? I'm not going to send my whole football team, but can I send one to you, right? It's just putting in that work and don't look for excuses. The man, if you're listening, don't look for excuses either. We can all do this. It takes two. So let the two of us put our minds together. Two heads are better than one, and make the best of this marriage. Why not date while married? Why do I have to just be married and be boring? I want to be young. I want to be cute. I'm gonna be Miss Bang all the time, right?
Of course. And like thinking back to your February trip with Solomon, and you saying you guys waiting until well, not particularly, not that trip in particular, but wait, you said when you couldn't find childcare, you'd bring them and then have them go to bed early or have a set bedtime. So speaking to that, so for those who are really having a hard time, maybe they live alone in another state or another province, another city, or whatever the case is, putting your kids at a bed to bed at a good time. Like Saturday, you're going to bed like at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And like that's it.
Yeah.
Right. And then at 9, maybe you guys can have a nice candlelight dinner together in your living room, or you can watch a movie, or you can play games, and then that space is like your space. Or the kids have to stay upstairs. Give them some popcorn and watch a movie if they're older and they don't want to go to bed at 8 o'clock. You know, this is you guys. This is your time with your siblings.
Yeah.
Make the best of it. Do not come downstairs. I don't care what's happening.
Yeah.
You know,
call 911. Don't call me. Call 911 if it's
call 911. We are not available right now because there are times where there is no childcare, and there are times, maybe sometimes the money for some families just not there. I know you said you can go for walks too. So just finding the time in your own home, if you can, to make it work, because eventually, like what I find is that what I have found is that the communication begins to break down. Like when you don't find the time to spend time with each other, like the communication is no longer a thing. And then you walk around angry, like you said, because you expect him or her to like understand where you're coming from. But like you're going to work, you're getting the kids ready. When you're coming in the door, he's leaving to go to work, and like the weekends are like groceries and laundry and going to auntie's house because there's a barbecue, and still like the communication hasn't happened. You don't know that your husband is having a horrible week at work, and you don't know that your wife is about to break down and wants a break, you know. So having the time together is so important, because I think it builds like also humanity between the two. They begin to understand each other better, and they feel each other's pain. And I think those, like for example, someone like, Esther's not leaving me notes anymore, something must be wrong, it's not like her, let me follow up with her. Like you have this urgency now to be like, no, something's wrong with my wife. Like I need to go and check on her, you know? So find a time, even if it's in the living room of your apartment, put the kids in a room, put on Nintendo, I don't know, family time, family show, whatever it is, put it on, and you and your spouse spend some good time.
Yeah, that's it. I think you're right. You said it. Make it work.
You said it. You the reason why we're here today. That I know everyone's gonna be like, yo, can't she just give us a snippet? You have to go to a YouTube channel to get the little snippet maybe of what happened in February, because honestly, it was great and so well thought out.
Thank you. It was a great time. Just make it work. I don't like, if you allow yourself, your relationship will just crumble if you allow it, right? Because there's just so much going on. This pandemic that we're mentioning, mentally, it's affecting a lot of people, right? It's affecting a lot of marriages, because now people have to spend time with their partners.
Yes.
So now's the time, and everything is much cheaper. Like the room I got I got it more than half of the price where they usually price it at. So it's still a little bit of money. You're still going to spend some money, but nothing good comes easy. Let's work for it. Let's work for what is ours. We've been through too much. You know, I know I've been through a lot with something. I know, brother. I know, right? And nothing's perfect now, but you see progress. Every relationship has its troubles, but you have to learn from it. Right? You become, how I look at it is, you become the fool once you don't learn from what happened before, and you start letting the same thing repeat itself. If you got mad because of thing you didn't ask question, and you keep doing the same thing, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, but you're the fool. You're not learning from it, right? You to learn, and that's it. That's growth. Right? That's growth.
Definitely. And not being afraid to be like, yo, I'm the reason why this is not working. Yeah, like look at yourself and like what you said, self-reflection. Like look
Mhm.
at yourself and be like, it's me. If I was doing more, our relationship would not have gone left or right.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So
And say I'm sorry,
and
ladies
say
and
I'm
say I'm
sorry.
sorry when you're wrong. Even if it's for the littlest thing, just say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. That's it. That was hard for me, but I'm better now.
Yeah, because you know what? I think as women, we run so many things in the house. And if you check us, it's like, how dare you check me
No, he
when
didn't.
I'm running everything? Who are you
Yeah.
checking?
Mhm.
But sometimes you need to be checked. It
Yeah.
hurts,
Yeah.
you know?
You said it. Colette has checked me a lot of times. You know why your sister checking you, but when she has to check you, she checks you.
The people
So
who don't check you though in the right and respectful way, mind you, not in
yeah,
any way, not in an
yeah,
abusive form, but in the right way, are people who love you.
yeah,
Like, why wouldn't I want my friend's marriage to thrive?
yeah.
There's no abuse. So why wouldn't I want my friend's marriage to thrive? Right? So yeah, man, proper checking is right, but it hurts when you have things set away and you're like, this is how it's supposed to be. What are you saying? It's not perfect. Like, how dare you?
Yeah.
You know? But yo, honestly, relationships, they're not as easy as A, B, and C. You have to make it work for you and your partner. And
Yeah.
that's the most important thing. So you don't let as outside influence, unless it's positive,
Mhm.
affect you
Yeah.
in any way.
And not everything I do in my relationship might not work for your relationship. You
Right.
might just
Yeah.
have to tweak it a little bit, right?
Yes.
But we know the basics works. The basics is for every relationship needs communication. Every
Yes.
relationship needs love. Every relationship needs trust and respect. So those basics, you just build everything on the basics, right? So
Yes.
if I communicate, oh, this weekend we're going to do this. You may do yours in a different way. Maybe you and your couple spending time together, maybe just sitting together and reading a series of books together or doing crosswords together.
That's true.
Everyone's, the time you spend, there's no book that tells you this is how you spend time with your husband. It's what makes the two of you happy together. That's what matters.
And on that note, cheers, sis.
Cheers.
Cheers to a good conversation. I love you. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Roaring 30s. And you're the bomb. You guys go and check out Semska's YouTube channel.
Yes.
She'll give you all that you need to know that she didn't tell you here. Okay. I'll leave her link down in the description box below. All right, Esther, cheers. I love you.
Cheers. Love you too.
By the way, guys, I know you're probably wondering what am I drinking because like on my stomach. No, this is aloe vera juice. It looks like wine.
Mine's wine. Mine's Moscato. I needed some wine.
She's drinking for me. All right. Thank you, Esther. Love you.
Love you too. Take care, sis.